Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new here, my name is Donna, and for those of you who are not, thank you so much for joining me again today. It warms my heart that you do it because I know that you don't have to do it, and I appreciate your support so very much on my channel and what might be my forever midlife crises. In today's video, I wanted to talk a little bit about my year of Boxy Charm. So I've seen some of these videos online before, and being that I am fairly new into this beauty lifestyle and joined Boxy Charm about the same time I started doing my YouTube videos, I thought I would talk about my year in review of Boxy Charm, whether it's worth it or not. It is a monthly subscription service. It is $21 a month. If you purchase your Boxy Charm subscription at an extended length, so 3, 6, 9 months, or a year, you get a wee bit of a discount. I purchase mine for a year at a time. I do get my boxes at $19.25 a box instead of $21 a box, which equals out to 1 free month of Boxy Charm in a year. It is my favorite subscription service, but I know a lot of people don't want to pull the trigger on a $21 a month subscription service. With that being said, they also started doing what's called Boxy Luxe. That is available 4 times a year, September, December, March, and June, for an additional $28.99 a month, so $49.99 for those boxes. I was one of the lucky ones that was able to get in on the Boxy Luxe subscription starting this month, because we are in September, and will be receiving that box. I haven't gotten my shipment notification yet, but I am so excited for that box. And one of the reasons why I keep pushing out the video that I'm doing on my giveaway is because there are items in that box that I will be adding to the giveaway because I already have those items. So with that being said, I do have quite the little list. It is color-coded. I am going to talk to you guys about the items that I received over the last year at Boxy Charm. And if I don't still currently have those items, I'm going to kind of stand over here so I can put a picture right here for you guys of those items. I do still have a lot of these items though. So what I want to say first is that I did pay $231 for my year's worth of Boxy Charm. Again, I am a year subscriber member, so I did get one of my boxes free by subscribing for a year. My boxes come to me at $19.25 a piece instead of $21. In that year, I received 65 total items, 35 of those items being prestige brands, which are sold at, Sephora, Ulta, Macy's, those kind of brands. 9 items of those items I totally disliked and I gave away. And 6 of them I've used up, 3 of which I have repurchased. I received $1,672.07 worth of items for that $231 cost, which leads me to a grand total of $1,441.07 worth of product that I did not pay for. I did receive 21 brushes. Many of those brushes came as sets that were one item in my Boxy Charm box. I received 8 eye palettes in the 12 months. I received 10 lip products, and that includes liner, lipstick, exfoliator, those kind of things, and 6 skincare items, which includes masks, exfoliators, lotions, and scrubs. And this just goes from August of 2017 to August of 2018, because that would have been my year mark. So, let's get into the items that I received. So, I received this 3-piece brush set by Mota. This is a chisel brush, a blush brush, and a crease brush. These guys retail for $26, and they, in my opinion, are totally worth it. The only brush I don't use on a daily basis is this one. I don't use this one for blush. I do use it just to buff things out on my face, and I love this brush. It is so soft. It is such a soft brush. And this crease brush I use every single day in my eyeshadow application. It is a perfect little crease brush. It does have a wee bit of a point to it, so it just digs right into that crease and helps fluff everything out. These are totally worth it. The next thing I got is a DC Gel Effect Nail Polish, which I do not have. It is one of the items that I gave away. I didn't like it. I'm not a nail polish person. It was a red, if I remember correctly. It sold for $18. I will tell you, I have never spent $18 on a nail polish and never will. From what I understand though, it was an amazing nail polish. I gave it to my daughter and she really liked it. So the next thing I got was Pure Pro lashes. I do still have those lashes, but they're kind of trashed. They're $14 for the set. They're amazing lashes. Pure makes some really great lashes. They're bombshell, and they were my learning lashes. Like, that's how I taught myself how to put on lashes, is using those lashes. Those were the first pair of lashes that I had ever owned, and I do think that they are worth it. They lasted through some shit. Let me tell you, I am not the best. I mean, even this lash today, I'm like, oh, Donna, you need to learn to put on lashes. This Alouette face paint. This guy retails for $35. I use it, it's a lip or cheek stain tint. I use it on my lips more than I do my cheeks. It is in my blush drawer though, because, I don't know, it's just whatever. I don't typically use a lot of cream products, or haven't up until this point. Do I think that this is worth $35? Absolutely not. I would never spend $35 on this, but it is a nice lip tint. I really do love the color. It is an item that I like a lot. The next one was the Rainforest of the Sea Volume 2 palette. It is a $36 palette by Tarte. It is on the darker side of life for the most part. It is a beautiful palette, but I don't like it. It didn't blend well. It wasn't a great palette for me to start with, to be honest. When I started this whole venture into Boxy Charm, like, I was really new into wearing makeup, and this wasn't the palette for me. It's not a beginner palette. It doesn't blend very well. This dark blue color, I was super excited about this guy over here, and it is quite possibly the worst shadow in my collection, if I'm being honest. I love Tarte. Tarte is one of my favorite brands to buy from. Their Amazonian clay selection formula is amazing. I love it. This is not my favorite palette. I got the Pure Soiree Diaries palette. That is a $34 palette. That is also a palette that I did not like. However, that is a palette that I did not like to the extent that I gave it away. This is one of the 6 items that I no longer have because I couldn't use it. Almost every color in that palette was too pale for my skin. Like, there might have been like 4 colors that showed up on my skin. They were really beautiful metallic shades, but they were so chunky and they just looked awful on my eyes. So I did give that palette to my daughter. She coveted it from the day I got it in my box. So I gave it to her. I have a really strong love-hate relationship with Pure. Half the products that I get from them I absolutely hate, and half the products I get from them I love. So that was one that I absolutely did not like at all. The next product I got was MAC Eyebrows. It is a picture I'll have to put in here because it is an item that I absolutely loved and I used up and I would consider repurchasing, but eyebrow products is not where I want to spend my makeup monies, so I don't. It's an $18 eyebrow pencil. When I figured out how to use it, I loved it. It was awesome. The next one is the Colourpop Ultra Satin Lip. I got an Ultra Satin Lip, and I have a bunch of them in there. I can't remember exactly which one came in my Boxy. I am not a huge fan of Colourpop lip products. Their Ultra Satin lips are not, I feel like they are the worst formula as far as, I don't want to say butthole lip because that sounds so vulgar, but that is really how I feel about them. They go on and they go on super smooth, but then they start really quickly to like drape around your lips, and before you know it, you have that nice ring around your lips that a lot of people call butthole lip. That is what these do to me. Not only that, but that color that they sent me was awful. It was like this, supposed to be this peachy nude color, I think, but it totally matched my skin tone and I looked dead when I wore it. So I have it, I'm sure, still in there, but it's one of those that I need to get rid of because I don't even use it. The next thing is this Studio Studio Makeup Luminous Loose Blush, and this is actually one of my favorite blushes. It is loose, obviously, so it comes with a sifter, but the color of this blush is absolutely beautiful, and it just blends really beautifully into your skin. I don't know if you guys can see that. It reminds me a lot of one of my favorite blushes that I just panned is a blush by Tarte called Feisty, and this blush reminds me of it, and it is just beautiful. I will say I don't use it very often because it is a loose blush. I just don't have time to baby a product in the morning when I'm getting ready for work, and this goes on super pigmented. This retails for $35. I would not spend $35 on it. A good blush to me is roughly in the $30 range, and that, you know, is pushing it, so I definitely wouldn't spend $35 on this, especially from a brand called Studio Makeup that I really haven't heard of, except for a Boxy Charm. The next thing is another brush. It is the Bare Minerals Face Perfecting Brush. It is a $28 brush, and when I first got this brush, do you guys see the center, how it's got a nice little divot in it? When I first got this brush, I was super excited because it was a brush that I thought was going to be amazing for my application of makeup, especially my liquid foundation. I do have quite a few Bare Minerals liquid foundations that I thought it would be perfect with, and the first few times I used it, I thought my makeup application was the bomb. But again, I was new in this whole makeup adventure. This is like, I think, out of my second box, maybe my third, and really was struggling with makeup application in the first place, and I hadn't really worn foundation ever until right before I got this brush. It was a good brush for a minute, and then I realized that it was just so densely packed that I was losing so much of my foundation into this brush. I never even use it anymore. If you guys can see how clean this brush is, it's because I probably haven't used it in 8 months. It is a brush that I still keep in my like little brush hoarder mess over there, but it's because I'm a brush hoarder, not because I love the brush. I do not think it's worth $28. It is available still in stores. Just don't go purchase it. The next thing I have is Briogeo Don't Despair Repair hair product, and if you guys watch my FabFitFun video that either just posted or will post, I don't know which one is going up first, you know that I have already repurchased this. So I got a deluxe size in this box. It wasn't a full size because I've since purchased a full size one, and it's much larger. And not purchased, I guess, I got a full size in my FabFitFun box for summer, and I just got another full size in the edit sale that happened for FabFitFun for a 70% off discount, because this stuff is amazing. Of all the hair stuff that I have ever used in my hair, and I'm not a huge hair person, if you know me, you know that. If you watch my channel, you know that. I don't do much with my hair. I love that conditioning mask because we have a pool, and with that pool comes, you know, stringy, straw-like hair because of the chlorine that's in the pool. That does wonders with that kind of hair, and I can't imagine my summers without that. So I bought a backup in the edit sale for FabFitFun. So the size that I got was $20, and it's well worth the price that you pay for it because of the miracles that it does to your hair, especially if you're an active or in a pool kind of person during the summer. During the winter, I don't see me using it that much because I don't do much that would make my hair like stringy and straw-like. The next thing is Dr. Brandt's Pore Dermabrasion. I don't have that anymore either. I have used that up. I have not repurchased it because it is $58. And while I do not think that that is a bad price for that item, because it was a glorious item. It did amazing things for me to be able to, I think this was the first experience I had besides Mary Kay microdermabrasion set with a dermabrasion type product besides Mary Kay, and I loved it. It was amazing. But I also now have a collection of mini dermabrasion type products that I'm trying to move through. I haven't repurchased it, not because I think it's a horrible product, but because I have a bunch to work through right now before I decide on which one I'm going to repurchase. It was a great product. Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector. Those are quite possibly my favorite highlights. I think the one that came in the box is the Champagne Pop one, and it is just kind of a gold, a really pretty like gold highlight. I do have another full size in Opal, and I also have a couple of the full size Light Chaser highlights. These are amazing highlights, and they look awesome. They don't cling to like texture or anything like that. So when I say this as, you know, a selling point, but also for those of you that have texture in your skin, no matter what age you are. For aging skin, they go on beautifully. For textured skin, they go on beautifully. They don't really show any of your texture. They are just a really pretty highlight. And you can share them out or build them up. They can be holy cow, or they can be like a super, like just wholly natural highlight on your face. These are amazing, and these are $38, and they are well worth the price. The product in them is pretty extensive too. There are 8 grams of highlight in here. This thing is going to last me the rest of my life. I am sure of it. Moving right along, we have a Tarte Tarte lip paint. So that is their liquid lipsticks. The Tarte lip paint formula is not my favorite. I'm not a huge like liquid lipstick fan in the first place, mostly because I'm messy with them and feel like they go all over my face, and it doesn't matter how carefully I put it on, it never looks good. So I've got a ton of liquid lipsticks. It just I'm not amazing at applying them, so it's not my favorite. It is a $20 item. It is not something that I feel I would purchase for $20. There are a couple colors of lash paint, like Birthday Suit is a really good one that I love. It's a beautiful nude color, and I actually got that as my birthday gift from Sephora last year. But the color that they sent me, again, Boxy Charm sent me a lot of really peachy tones in my liquid lip colors that kind of just blended into my face, and I didn't like them for that reason. I have since tried it with like a lip liner underneath of it that was like a darker brown color, and it looks really good on there, but not on its own. The next thing is the Dirty Little Secret Eyeshadow Chubby. This is a $14 eyeshadow chubby stick, and I'm gonna be honest with you, the only thing I've ever done with this is swatch it for the video that I unboxed it in. And that was it. Like, I don't think that these are at all worth the money. I probably wouldn't pay $5 for an eyeshadow stick these days, knowing what I know now. In the beginning of this, I was like, oh, eyeshadow sticks, so super easy. They're not super easy. They're oily. They go onto your lids, and they just kind of take off every other thing with them because they are so moist. So I might use these in like my brow bone as a brow bone highlighter, my inner corner, but then this is going to last forever, and it's certainly not worth the $14 that you're charged for it. I got a Jaunt Blue lip liner, which was a $5 lip liner, and it started out about the same size as a MAC lip liner. So obviously I love this. I love this thing. I love the color of it. The color of this one is called Spice. It is kind of like a brown color, kind of like a brown mauve color, and I love it. And I would go on to the Jaunt Blue website over and over again and purchase their $5 lip pencils every day. Like, their lip pencils are so amazing, and they stay where they're supposed to. I just feel like it's an amazing lip pencil. I don't feel like you have to spend $22 on a lip pencil when those are on the market. I got a set of Luxy travel eye brushes. There are 4 of them, and they retail for $32. I think these guys were one of my first dives into Luxy brushes, and I will say this, the mini brushes and the full-size brushes are the same exact brushes. Like, I feel like these brushes were so amazing to my collection because I got to feel a Luxy brush and what a real brush feels like, what an amazing brush feels like. And Luxy brushes aren't that spendy, really, but I wouldn't pay $32 for this little tiny brush set. I mean, I'm having a hard time holding them in my hand. I was just this morning thinking, man, maybe I should take those out of my brush caddy because I don't really use them that much anymore. I don't. But when I want to use them, I do use them. I hardly ever pull for these anymore. So while I don't think that they're worth $32 because they're travel size, I would say if they were a full-size brush, they would they would be worth the $32 and then some. The next thing is the Cover FX Illuminating Setting Spray. This is probably my 3rd bottle, I believe. Yeah, my 3rd bottle. I don't use it every single day, but I do use it enough that this one is a good share empty. It's probably needing to be replaced. I love this setting spray. Like, I know when we first got it, there was quite a bit of dispute about whether it had glitter in it or not. I really, the first time I used it, thought that it was just far too glittery. It does have an illumination to it, so there's some glitter in it. But if you shake it really well, and then spray it, and I just spray, and then, you know, fan it to dry it down. You can't really, as long as you don't overspray in one particular area, you can't really tell that there's glitter in it. And for my aging skin not to be more texturized, or, you know, for this not to look horrible on it, that's a good thing. So it is a $31 setting spray. If I'm looking for like a dewy appearance, that's my go-to setting spray. The next thing is the Winkie Luxe Kitten palettes. I used the poop out of this palette when we first got it. I love this palette, and I was just thinking about it the other day. When we first got this palette, I thought, ooh, I don't know, those are some crazy dark colors, but I used this palette over and over and over and over again, and it's only got 9 pans in it, but I could create so many looks out of that palette. That pastel pink in there, I used every day as a brow highlight, every single day. It is a beautiful palette, and it is only $25. So worth the money. So worth the money. You can find it at Ulta.com. It is worth the money. It's worth I will repurchase it. If I ever pan this palette, I will repurchase it. The next thing I got was Lactic & Company Cloud Lips. This guy retails for $17, and it looks like this. It comes in really nice packaging. It's really pretty glamorous looking packaging. You undo it, and it is, holy crap, looks really dark chocolate brown, right? And I'm like, there's no way I'm wearing that. No way I'm wearing that. It actually is a really pretty, like, burgundy berry pink. And it was perfect for fall time, fall and winter, and I will probably go back to using it in fall and winter. It's not a bad lip product. I don't think it's as creamy as I like a lipstick to be, if it's a lipstick, but it is a fairly decent lip product. It's really good, and this is my jam for fall. So the next thing is the Real Her blush kit. This is the blush kit, and it's not a bad blush kit. It did have a nice size mirror to it. These blushes, though, are so not very pigmented at all. I think that, what the hell? I used the wrong finger. I'm like, there's nothing coming off. So this is that first pink color. Like, This is the second one, the more coral color. And this is the third one, the more brown color. So, like, I mean, there just really isn't any pigmentation to that, and the brown actually kind of looks pink, which is whatever, but I think they can be built up really well, which is nice, but it, again, is a product that I just really don't have time for in the mornings. I feel like you have to work really hard to get these to show up on your face, which I don't mind doing, I really don't, but I just don't have time in my everyday makeup application to struggle with this palette. Of all the colors, I really do like this one the best, this little peachy one called Limitless. It's not bad. It also doesn't have glitter in it, and it doesn't have like a sheen to it. These two on the end, they have glitter in them. I don't know if you guys can tell, but they also have kind of a sheen to them. I don't mind a sheeny blush, but I don't like a glittery blush. I don't mind the blush kit. It's not a bad blush kit. It's just not a good one either. The next thing we got is the Beauty Basics Bronze Essentials palette. That was actually in the same box, I believe, and that was the most atrocious bronzer that Boxy Charm could have ever sent anybody. This is it, and it did have a nice mirror on it too, but this is the product. So it is 2 strips of gold, a dark bronzer, and then 2 lighter bronzed colors on either side, and my brushes are obviously too fat to get into that dark color all on its own, and these 2 colors here during the summer are just too light for my skin, and who wants a gold bronzer? I do not want a gold bronzer. So I did sweep through it the first time I used it, because I was trying just to get into the darker brown, and that didn't quite work. So I just swept through it and used it on my face, and it was not great. Immediately that turned me off to this brand, this Beauty Basics brand. But with that being said, the packaging on this thing is awful. It's super plastic. It looks like something you would purchase in the dollar store, and this guy retails for $39.95. What? No. Not worth it. This is a not worth it product. This falls into the night items I disliked category. This is no. The next thing I want to talk about is the KNC Beauty Lip Masks. You got a 3-pack in the box. They retail for $5 a piece, so it was a $15 retail value for those 3 masks. They did not stay on your face. They did nothing for your lips. I do not believe that they were worth the price. For sure, they were not a product that I didn't like, but they also were not a product that I loved. So, the next thing is the Makeup Geek Showstopper Cream Stain, and it retails for $12. I will put a picture here because I did have it, but I lent it to a friend and I have not yet received it back, which is kind of like, you know, disheartening. It's been a minute, and it was my favorite. This lip stain I will go on to Makeup Geek and repurchase because Marlena did something amazing with these things. I don't know. I had seen so many people not like these products, but I don't know why. They're amazing. They go on super smoothly. They make your lips feel super like velvety almost. They don't transfer. They stain instead of wipe off, wipe away. They're just amazing, and the doe foot on them was perfect lip hugging doe foot. I love this, and it was a super skinny little package. It reminded me of Hard Candy's lip glosses, and their lip products that come in the tin and then have the product inside of the tin. I loved that product and will repurchase that product because I've lost mine. Not lost, I know exactly where it is, but it's gone. Then I got the Tarte TARDIS Lash Paint. This is a product that I actually repurchased. It is a mascara that initially I thought I loved, and I do love it. I just don't love it as much as I thought I did, and I've used it and should probably toss this one. I do have a backup to it because it was on sale in a sale. I can't remember what sale, but it was on sale, so I purchased a backup to it because I did love it. The wand is this rubberized, like, bristle wand that makes them defined and stand out all on their own, and I thought that that was amazing. What I will say about this is it's $23. I don't feel like any mascara is worth $23 because you have to throw it away in 3 months, or you're supposed to. I don't necessarily listen to that all the time, which is probably stupid, but you're supposed to throw it away in 3 months. And this guy finds himself on my cheekbones, like right here, and that doesn't make me happy. The next thing is a Vintage Cosmetics highlighter, which was $32, which I love. I think that it is a pretty highlighter. What I will say is I had to repress it because it came to me perfectly fine, but then broke as it sat in my drawer, so it's really fragile. I didn't repress it normally, like, you know how people like mush things up and then repress it like that. I just stuck saran wrap over the top of it and pressed it back in, and it worked, and it's working fine at this point. It is a really pretty, like, rose gold color, which I find beautiful and love, and those kind of highlights are what I gear myself towards. Do I think it's worth $32? $32 is not a bad price. It is a decent highlighter, and it does have 8.16 grams in it, which is significantly more than some of the highlighters that I have purchased at 30 bucks a piece. So it's not a bad highlighter. I would probably pay $32 for it. The next thing is Dr. Brandt's Pore No More Luminizer Primer. I do not have one of it. I will put a picture up here. I don't have one of it because I loved it. I used it. I refuse to repurchase it because it is $38 for 1 ounce of product. I can get beautiful primers for far less that have far more product in them. So I love Dr. Brandt as a brand. It is an amazing brand, but I'm not spending $38 on 1 ounce of primer product. I'm just not. It Cosmetics Brow Power. I have repurchased that brow pencil. I don't have it currently because, again, brow pencils is not where I'm going to spend my money. It is a $24 brow product. It comes in one shade, Universal Taupe. I think that it's ridiculous that it comes in one shade. What I also think is ridiculous is that every single one of them that I've had, whether I got it in Boxy Charm or purchased it, I've had like 5 of them, and every single one of them is broken in the tube. Like, why? Like, make your product better. Why is it broken? Every single one of them I have struggled with having to put the pencil actually back into the pencil because they break. It's ridiculous. So, A, I do not feel like it's worth $24 because it comes in one shade. B, I do not feel like it's worth $24 because it is an eyebrow pencil. We can get much more inexpensive eyebrow pencils that work the same, that are just as good, for far cheaper. And C, I do not think, or 3, however I'm doing this, I do not think it's worth $24 because it breaks. The next thing is the Crown Glam Metals palette. Crown Glam Metals palette is poop. No, I do not think it's worth it. It had 9 shades in it, as you can see. There are like 4 sets of 4 duos in there that could be the same exact color. It was all metallic, which is whatever. That's what the palette suggested. It was going to be an all metals palette. Cool. I don't like it. It's not worth it. There's a couple of shades in that palette that are good, that are really pretty, that I loved, but for the most part, I didn't find it was worth it. It's only $25, but I do not feel it's worth $25. If you're going to buy a $25 9-pan palette, do Winkie Luxe. The next thing is the Pure Bronze and Brighten Cheek, excuse me, cheek palette. This guy retails for $34. Do I feel like it's worth it? Sure. The reason why I feel like it's worth it is because yay, while it might look scary, it's actually really beautiful on the skin. This highlighter right here is one of my favorites. It does kind of have like this gold tone to it, but it's a very bam, right there highlighter, and if you're into that, you will love it. This looks like a super scary blush, but it actually blends out so beautifully on your face to become like this just really natural corally, you know, rosy colored cheek color. This shade, whether it be an amazing bronzer, which I haven't been brave enough to try or not, it is an awesome eyeshadow. It is so pretty, and you don't have to do much to make this guy work for you. It is just such a pretty color. And I imagine that as a bronzer it probably also is pretty, but again, we're going back to the fact that who wants a sparkly bronzer? Not me. I'm old AF. And sparkly bronzers do not look good on my skin. So the next thing is the Lactic lip paint. I do love Lactic lip paints. They are amazing. They are $23 though, and I don't feel like a liquid lipstick should cost you more than $20. No, I don't feel like it's worth it to purchase a $23 lipstick from a brand when our, you know, luxury brands aren't charging that. Oh, for Pop-Up Mini Palette. It is a little Z palette, and I currently have some shadows in that palette from Cindy Grace. It came with a blush refill pan, and I do love the blush. So the mini palette was $19 retail value, and the blush is $12. The palette, it is poop. It does not close. The magnets on it are poop. Like, I cannot get my pans to stay in this palette very well. It is a crappy palette. If you're looking for a magnetic palette, try Tarte. Try Sephora brand, has an amazing dual-sided magnetic palette. Try any other brand but Ofra. This one is poop. I would not pay $2 for it, let alone 19. The blush, the Refill Got It pan, is beautiful. It's a beautiful blush, and I think that it's worth $12. I think that $12 for a pan without the packaging is maybe a little bit expensive, but it's not bad really, and it's a good blush. The next is the Cover FX Shimmervale that I got for $28. The Shimmervale that we got is this one. It is Amethyst, and it is a $28 retail value. Well, since getting this and falling in love with it, I also purchased 2 more, and I purchased these actually on sale through my FabFitFun. I got them for $9 a piece, which I thought was a steal, and I wish I had purchased every single one of them because they are so amazing. These guys actually spurred a video of mine. I almost whacked myself with it. A liquid eyeshadow showdown video of mine that I'll link up in the cards. These are really pretty, amazing, and like I would purchase them. I do not want to purchase them for $28 though, so there's that. Do I think that they're worth the $28? Sure. Yes, I do. I think Cover FX has not really steered me wrong in any of the items that I've received from that brand. So yes, I believe that they are worth $28, but me, my penny pincher self, I do not want to spend $28 on them. Vintage Cosmetics eyeliner for $21. Absolutely not. It was a pencil eyeliner. It was a basic black eyeliner. It was called a smoky eyeliner, and it went all over the place. It went all over my face. So no, not worth it. Not worth $21. Not worth $21, especially when you can go onto the Janta Blue website and get a stellar one for, like, I don't know, 1/4 of the price. I think that $21 is a bit steep for a pencil that we A, have to sharpen ourselves, and B, have to maintain on our eyes because it either disappears or goes all over the place. Not my favorite Vintage Cosmetics product. The next thing I have is the Lip Plumping Lip Exfoliator by Pure. It is a $17 item. It is an item I love. It is this guy here. So this is this is what it looks like, and that's pretty gross, and I'm sorry about that, but it is like a sugar, like, scrub exfoliator dude, and you put it on your lips and it does what it's supposed to do, and it tastes so good, but It is an item that is a $17 item, and I feel like I wouldn't repurchase this just because of how it's packaged. Like if it was in a balm that I could put my finger into and then put on my lips and it be a little more sanitary than this, I might purchase it. This was an item that I absolutely loved from Pure. The next thing is this Crown Brush Trio that retails for $29.99. It was these guys. And I have to be honest with you, I don't use any of them. I don't know, like there's nothing wrong with these brushes. This one is super stiff. It would be good for like contour. It would fit right into that place in your face. This is a decent eye brush. There's nothing wrong with this eyeshadow brush. And this one, as far as a face brush, would be a good like blush brush. I just don't use them. They don't sit like comfortably in my hands. They do have these divots on them. I don't know if you guys can tell. They do have divots on it for where your fingers are supposed to go, which I think is good, but at the same time not, because if you hold them anywhere but there, they're kind of uncomfortable in your hands. They're also pretty weighty, and they remind me of Wet n Wild's brushes. Only I like Wet n Wild's brushes better. Wet n Wild has a very similar format to their brushes. The white handles, pink writing on it that says Wet n Wild, the white bristles with the pink tops. Very similar structure, only they're a little bit less heavy and they feel better in your hands. I don't think that they're worth $30. The next thing is a Pure and Boxy eyeshadow palette. This palette I actually kept. I love this palette. I love all the corals in there. I think that this is an amazing palette. I use it quite frequently. I do love the palette. So this is an eyeshadow palette that retails for $36, and you can pick it up at Ulta. I do not think it's worth $36. When I, as a consumer, am spending stuff like, you know, $49 on Too Faced, I don't think that you should have to pay $36 for this palette. I would say it's a good $30 palette. I don't think it's a $36 palette. I have a Butter London mascara that I got from them that is a $20 mascara. I've heard amazing things about. It is currently still in my drawer because I don't want to open it because mascaras go bad in 3 months, and I still have a bunch of mascaras that are open that I want to use up before I open any more. The next thing I have is the South Main Under Eye Gels. They came in a pack of 3 for $10, and I love anything that goes under my eyes, that stays under my eyes, that feels good. I haven't tried these. I can't tell you whether they're worth it or not because I haven't tried them yet. But we're talking about 3 eye gels, 3 pairs of eye gels for $10. Like, that's decent. That's an amazing price. So if they stay on my eyes and they make my eyes feel better and have any kind of cooling sensation, I'm gonna feel like they're worth it. Vintage Cosmetics eye brush set was an awesome eye brush set. It was a 3-piece set. These are them. I use these brushes all the time. The standout, I believe, is this guy here. I use this one almost every single day. This is the number 3 Go Girl Go brush. So he is the standout brush, but these other 2 brushes are also really good brushes. I like this one when I'm trying to go really light in my outer V, and I like this one when I'm trying to pack on color. It is a nice flat-ish shader brush that is just really good. Do I use them for doing a smoky eye? No, but I do use them quite often. This is a great brush set. These guys retail for $23.15, and I would probably pay $23.15. If you're wanting to pay $23.15 for a set of brushes, these are worth that cost. The next thing we got is a Pretty Vulgar blush. It is a beautiful blush. I love this blush. I think that it is right up my alley. It kind of reminds me again of a more berry version of that 12-hour Amazonian clay blush I loved from Tarte. So while I will say that, I will say that this packaging is so cheap. It's like plastic. It looks cute. I absolutely love their motif here, the like old time frame look to it, but it is such cheap packaging, and it only has 6 grams in it, and it is $26. So the Amazonian clay blushes are $29, I believe. I would purchase one of those over again before I'd purchase this. The packaging is just really super cheap. I do love the blush though. It is a blush that I wear quite frequently. So worth it, yes, to my collection because I use it all the time. Worth $26? No, I wouldn't pay $26 for these. The next thing I have is this TARDIS Pro Glow. This guy is a $29 liquid highlighter, but this is a beautiful highlighter. I'm not a super big fan of liquid products like blushes and highlighters and whatnot, or didn't used to be, but this guy kind of changed the game for me. I think that this is a beautiful highlighter. I would probably pay $29 to have it again. It just goes on my skin so flawlessly and just leaves it looking so fresh and so pretty, and the highlight is so buildable, and yet at first stop is stunning, and which is funny because it's called Stunner, and I just kind of really love it. It's really pretty and definitely worth it. The next item is the Colourpop My Little Pony palette. This is one of my favorite palettes of all time. It is a $16 palette. It's a $16 palette. It has 12 shades in it. Do I think it's worth it? Absolutely. I feel like this is a palette that if you're into color, even if you're not into color, it's got some nice neutral peachy shades to it with some pops of color in there. I think that this is a palette that you would love, and it's only $16. Like, Colourpop is a brand I can stand behind because they are well worth the price that they charge you. The next one is the Dr. Brandt Pores No More Vacuum Cleaner. This is a product that I am still currently using. I do have a full size and an almost gone full size because my daughter left hers here. It was a product I was going to give to my daughter because I don't really have an acne issue, but what I will tell you is I've had some breakouts and I've used this on my breakouts, and it cleans those breakouts up so quickly. Like, they're not on my skin for very long, and that makes me so happy. So this is a $47 product. I would not repurchase it just because I don't have an acne problem, but I believe if you have an acne problem, this is totally worth it. And the next thing is the Braga Eyebrow Gel. I actually have it in my eyebrows today. I kind of forget that I have those kind of products until like I'm going through stuff, trying to find stuff. So I have it in my eyebrows today. I do like it. I felt like it was the wrong color for me when I first got it because it's like this kind of pale brown color, but it actually looks really good. I like going into my eyebrows with it first, then doing my eyebrow pencil, then going into my eyebrows again with it just to set that all, and I feel like it makes my eyebrows look really good. So it is a $22 eyebrow product. So the problem with this is that I do think that it's worth it product. It is a pretty product and it works really well and it does what it's supposed to do. But eyebrows is not where I've told myself I'm allowed to spend my makeup money. You've heard that all throughout this video so far, and probably if you're familiar with my channel, you've heard it multiple times on my channel. So, is it worth it? Yes. If you want to spend your makeup money on eyebrow product. You can get so many different eyebrow products at the drugstore for far less that are just as good. A DC liquid lipstick. This actually is a liquid lipstick that I was pretty excited about. It is a really decent color, although the color is not on the packaging anywhere, so I had to look it up online what it was called, and I think it's like Cocoa Bear or something like that, which leads you to believe it's a brown color, and it is kind of a brown, but it's very much a brown nude color, so it goes on really pretty. It's just definitely a very pretty color, and this product is huge. It is $24, which I would normally say absolutely not. Don't spend your money on a $24 liquid lipstick, but this is huge. This is the Edisi color. This is an ABH, so like it's a huge product. There are There is so much product in here. The product amount is like, there's just an enormous amount of product in here for $21 and or $24. These guys are $21, I believe. I know earlier I said $20 to $22. I think they're $21. So I would purchase this over this any day. Not only that, but this is so much more comfortable than ABH one, which isn't saying much because everybody knows these are uncomfortable. This is really comfortable. This feels really good. It doesn't really give you that butthole mouth. And I love the color of it. But there's only like 7 shades to choose from. So the next thing is the Pure Sculptor palette, which is a $30 retail value. It is this guy. When I first got it, I wasn't going to keep it because of these colors. Like, these are so dark, but as you can see, I use the poop out of this palette. I use it all the time. This color obviously is my favorite color to use. It does match my skin tone very well, but this color, if I want to deepen up my contour at all, I will use that color. It smells like chocolate, which I'm not a super big fan of. I like that it comes with a mirror in it. I like that it has 2, you know, contour slash bronzers and 2 highlighters. This highlighter is a wee bit too dark for me, but I have used this one multiple times and obviously used the poop out of that brown called Inventor. I think it's a decent palette. I really like it, and I feel like it's probably worth $30. You get 2 contour shades, 2 contour slash bronzing shades, and 2 highlighters. That's a decent dang price. And it has 10 grams of product in it, so the pans aren't huge necessarily, but they're decent size. The next product is this Cover FX Blurring Primer. Like I said, Cover FX has never done me wrong. I do love everything Cover FX. This is kind of tinted. I don't know if you guys can see that. It goes on very nicely. I don't find, like with most blurring primers, like they'll ball up on my face actually, or in the application process when I'm trying to put them on. This one does not do that. It's not necessarily my favorite primer, honestly, but it's an amazing, great primer. It retails for $38. Again, I would probably not spend $38 on it. The only reason why is because it's 1 ounce of product. Like, I get Laura Geller primers, which are my holy grail. I get those primers for $30 and there's 2 ounces of product in it. So why would I want to spend $38 on 1 ounce? That seems to be the norm though for the more prestigious brands, which is funny because I think that Laura Geller is a pretty prestige brand. It's not luxury, but neither is Cover FX. So the next thing is the Pretty Vulgar Gel Inkwell Liner. If you guys watch that unboxing, you know I will never use that. It is a $24 retail value. And while it is the cutest thing and it sits on my vanity just so pretty like, I love the packaging of it and I will keep it for its packaging alone. I will never use it. I just don't do gel liners because I'm not even good at a pencil liner or a pen liner, so I will probably practice with it one day and maybe I'll love it someday. But for now, it's not worth it to me. It's not worth $24. With that being said, there is a massive amount of product in here. There's 6 grams, and I'm not sure how much you get with like ABH or any of those other places because I've never priced out a gel liner. But I've seen it, goodness, I've seen it in use and it is an amazing gel liner if you do gel liners. And for $24, the amount of product that you get is pretty enormous. Okay, next is the Estetica P12 Face Brush. This is it. It retails for $27. Estetica is a brand that I had never heard of before Boxy Charm. I do think that this is an awesome brush. I don't use it every day. It is super soft, and I do like its buffing factor, the fact that I can buff whatever, like my finishing powder or whatever, into my skin and it doesn't scratch up my skin. It feels really nice. I would never spend $27 on this brush. It's just, it feels really light. It's just pretty cheaply made. I feel like it doesn't necessarily shed though, which I think is awesome, but I would never spend $27 on it. In that same box, we also received a 3-piece eye brush set from them that retails for $45, which is outlandish. These brushes, I can tell you right now, are not worth $45. They're these. The only one I have ever used is this one, which is the spoolie. And it's just because I was super excited to have a spoolie in my collection that wasn't attached to a pencil. Like, I love that I can just use this whenever and not have to take out one of my eye pencils to do it. I will never use this one, which is the eyeliner the eyeliner one. And then this one, which is a brow brush, I believe. I have used this one, I think, actually, like maybe once or twice, but I've used it for shadow because I don't use a brush in my brows. I use a pencil. The next item is the Reina del Caribe palette by Alamar, and I love that palette. Like, I don't know if you can tell, but I have, you know, been into every single one of those colors. These two colors, stunning. These two colors, stunning. I mean, they're all just stunning. This is a brand new brand. And Gabby, who works for Boxy Charm, actually is the creator of this brand. And this was their very first release. And it was amazing. Good choice, Gabby. Congrats to you. This was a really great start to your brand. This is an amazing palette. I would repurchase it, and it is definitely worth the $28 that they charge for it. So the next thing is this Beauty Creations matte lip gloss. Kind of an oxymoron, right? Like, what? This is awesome. And it is huge. It is in the shade Sweetheart. So the one thing that I hate about this, it is a lip gloss. And you know it's a lip gloss because it's super sticky like a lip gloss. But it mattifies like a liquid lip. So it's just kind of got this weird like feeling to it. Like, you know, it shouldn't be sticky yet mattified. But it is. So it's really weird, but it definitely is worth the price tag, and the price tag on this guy is $10. Next is Baddington lashes. We were sent a thing of Baddington lashes. This was my, second pair of lashes in this whole Boxy Charm game. They're $28. I wouldn't pay $28, but I wouldn't pay $28 because I'm not a fake lash girl. So if you're into fake lashes, they were beautiful lashes. They lasted for quite some time. I still think I have them, but they're pretty beat up. They were beautiful lashes, and they went on very easily. It was easy for me, a newbie, to manipulate and work with. I think that they're worth it. The next thing is the Sol de Janeiro Boom Boom Cream. We got a small mini that retails for $10. I did give that to my daughter because I do have a full-size one that retails for $45. I didn't think about keeping it for my purse, which I wish I had before I gave it to my daughter, but my daughter loves it. I love it, so I'm really glad that I gave her that version. I wish I would have kept the container, though, just to refill for my purse. I would repurchase the full size of that over and over and over again. It smells so good. The next thing is a Luxy 3-piece complexion brush collection for $42. So as you can see, I used this one today. It is dirty. It is the Precision Foundation brush. I used it for blush. This one is the tapered highlighter. I haven't used this one in a hot minute. And this one is the Duo Fiber Powder. I have never used this one. What I will say though is Luxy brushes are amazing and totally worth the price. This is great actually for contour, which is what I've used it for, and I use this one for a more like precise blush brush, but these are definitely worth the $42 price tag for the 3 brushes. The next thing is a Janta Blue eyeliner, which retails for $5. I think I said earlier when I was talking about the Vintage Cosmetics one that I would not spend the $21 on that when you can get a $5 one from Janta Blue that is amazing. It was a brown eyeliner, which we don't typically receive in boxes. Typically we get black, so that in and of itself was amazing. But it is a pencil that you have to sharpen, which I'm okay with doing if it's a $5 pencil. So it was a $5 pencil that is well worth the $5, and I would repurchase again and again and again, and I still have it. It's still going strong. It is still an amazing eyeliner. Then we got an Ofra liquid lipstick. Ofra is probably by far my favorite liquid lipstick formula. It goes on really smoothly. It feels really nice. It's not super uncomfortable to wear. It's in my lipstick drawer. I would spend $21 on Ofra liquid lipsticks. I feel like they're worth it. Their formula is amazing. They have a great longevity to them, and they don't create that ring around your lips like a lot of liquid lipsticks do, and they don't dry down my lips to the extent that they hurt. So $21 for an Ofra liquid lipstick I'm into. The next thing is the Dr. Brandt No More Baggage Eye Cream, and it's called Needles No More. I use this every single day. I love this stuff. I feel like it's working. It will probably be something that I repurchase. As a matter of fact, I think it's a hot buy right now at Ulta for $29. It regularly is priced at $42, so I will probably pick it up before the end of the 21 Days of Beauty just to get the hot buy on it, because it is an amazing eye depuffing gel. I can see a difference in my eye bags when I'm using this consistently. The next thing is the Crown Brush Fuego palette. I received this. It is a $29.99 palette. It's a palette I was afraid of because of my previous history with the Crown Glam Rocks palette, but I love this palette. It is a beautiful palette, and the pan size is huge. It feels like a little more prestigious than the Glam Rocks palette, which makes sense because it's not got very much more shadows in it, but it's just presented differently, and I feel like the formula is 1,000 times better on this palette. It's very warm tone, has that like Urban Decay heat vibe to it, but it is so pretty. $29.99 is worth it. I would pay $29.99 for it. Wander Beauty Mascara is $24, and this is a mascara that I was like, no way would I pay $24 for a mascara, but this is a mascara that I actually have grown to love. I have it on today. It's a mascara that stays on my lashes and not on my cheekbones. It is a mascara that I can count on to not give me a raccoon eye, so it is definitely a $24 mascara that I would probably spend $24 on. The next thing is this Note Cosmetics blush. It's $11.99. This guy was a beautiful blush, is a beautiful blush. I use it often. It is super pigmented though, so you have to really go in with a super light hand. I have went on Ulta and thought about purchasing a couple more of their blushes just because they're super pigmented, really pretty, and the longevity of the blush is outstanding. It lasts for a long time, and they sell them for $11.99. Yes, they are worth it. The next, second to last, is this Cella Eyebrow Cream. So I think this guy was in my fails. If you guys watched my faves and flops, this was a flop for me, and it's mostly a flop for me because I really don't like this brush. It is too floppy for the kind of product that it's supposed to be. So this is the product, and it's down there in that little tiny hole. I do like that they are trying to like save like space or whatever, and they put it all into one pen, which is nice, but this brush is just way too floppy to be a decent eyebrow brush. Also, I don't use these kind of products, so it was really difficult for me to use and get a decent looking brow. Once I got it on there and got it situated and got it perfected, it was a really good product for my brows. I really did like my brows with this on. It's just not a product that I ever see myself reaching for unless there's a reason for it, like, you know, being able to speak to it. The last item is the Cover FX Enhancer Drops. I did get this for referring my mom to Boxy Charm. It is a $42 item, and it was an item that I received only because I had referred somebody, not because it came in everybody's box. With that being said, like, this is just an extra item that was thrown in within the last year. I love them. I like Cover FX. Cover FX, again, has never steered me wrong. But I do not believe that this product is worth $42. I think that you could get any kind of like Illuminizer drops from any other company for a little bit cheaper, and they would do the same thing. So I love Cover FX. I really hope that in the future that Boxy Charm really thinks of upping their skincare game. This eyelash is driving me nuts. So I'm super happy that we made it through this video. I'm sorry, I knew that this was going to be a long one when I started it. I really just tried to condense it down as much as possible, and through editing I'll try and condense it down even more. That was my year in review. I really hope that you liked this video, and if you are at all interested in Boxy Charm, I do have a referral code down in my description box. It doesn't give me anything but points. You would also get points for referring somebody as well. And this month, if I refer you or you use my code, we get a free, it's an IT Cosmetics item. So if you use my referral code this month to get your Boxy Charm, you will also get this item as well for free in your box. With that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Please give me a big thumbs up if you did. It does really help my channel, and it helps me figure out what you want to see and what you don't want to see. I hope that you'll want to subscribe on your way out. If you like me, if you like my content, if you like anything about my little midlife crisis here, please subscribe to my channel. I would really love to have you here. I love watching this little channel of mine grow, and I have a giveaway coming soon, so now would be the time. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys, and I hope to see you in the comments. See you next time. Bye.